Hello, we are live. Yes, this is your Qatar sprint qualifying watch along. Hey, Mark, nice to have you in the chat. You're going to have to fill me in, chat, because I've been working and I missed free practice. But what I can see from our live timings, we've got Oscar Piastri was quickest of all. Alonso up there, P3. And that's what I love about the all of our live data. I've still got the data from the stream that I wasn't actually on. Sainz up in P4, Hadjar P5, Verstappen P6, Albon P7, Leclerc P8. Stroll up in the top 10, Antonelli 10th, Hulkenberg 11th. Hamilton obviously looked like he was struggling for pace behind Leclerc. Yuki Tsunoda, no surprises there, down in P13. Russell, that's quite surprising. Was he 14th fastest in FP1? Wow. Hey, Gemma, queen of the chat, in the chat. I was just saying, I wasn't streaming live for FP1, so I'm playing catch-up. If anybody wants to tell me what I missed. Good to see Oscar, though, faster than Norris. But really, honestly, cold. Oh, yeah. A little bit chilly. Is nobody else... If you're watching in the UK right now, how freaking cold is it? It could just be me being like Scrooge. I've got the heating on all the time. So, yeah, I got a little scarf on. But, yeah. So, really, free practice, it was an interesting one because when it's a sprint weekend, it's so important that you get as much data as you can with a long run in free practice. And yeah, it looks like Oscar Piastri, as I said, by the way, in the Qatar preview show, I told you Piastri is going to be quicker than Norris this weekend. I've got Piastri down to finish P2 in this Grand Prix. And Mark says it's fashionable. It's not. I've got it's purely cold. You're making me self-conscious. So yeah, obviously free practice. What have we learned? We've learned that Piastri's come out fighting, I think. But not long until we get the data for going through for the new session. Oh, in fact, it looks like it's refreshing right now. Let's see what we've got. Here we go. So, new data going through. We've got Legend. Hey, welcome to the chat, my friend. Lovely to have our regulars with us for free practice. We have got all the live data that you could possibly want. We've got a little track just below me here where we can see the cars out on track. Yeah, sprint qualifying. What are we expecting? So, I'm expecting Max to come out strong because he's in a title fight. He wants those points from the sprint race. I mean, Piastri as well, right? Piastri's out there looking for blood. So, you know, it's not over yet. And when I really like the fact that when Piastri was asked about have McLaren spoke to him regarding any sort of team orders, and he said they came up and he basically shut them down and said there's no way he's going to be playing the role to help Lando win it. He's in the fight himself. And I love that. I do. I love that. Yeah. So today we've got it all to play for. All the big players are in the race today. So I'm expecting, what am I expecting? I'm expecting qualifying to tell us this. I'm expecting it to tell us that Piastri's in the fight. I'm expecting it to tell us that Max Verstappen's out there fighting. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be some quite, random results. Like if Alonso can put in a performance, then yeah, maybe we see the Aston Martins, maybe the new news of Adrian Newey becoming the new team principal, Aston Martin. Maybe that's given them all a bit of a, a little bit of a boost. Alonso, P3 is pretty impressive, even in practice, for that Aston Martin. I know Lance Stroll's one of your favourites. Lance Stroll's one of your favourites. Maybe Lance is going to be out there. Max P1. I think, look, honestly, to keep it spicy, I do think Max is gonna qualify pole for the sprint race, and I think he's gonna win it because it's Max. He's gonna keep us all in the mix, right? He's gonna keep us all in the fight until the very end. So that's what I think. But there's only a couple of minutes before we find out. Hello to everyone. If you're brand new to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us. This is one of our watch-alongs where we can enjoy the action together. So this is sprint qualifying. To the right of your screen, you will see our data. And as soon as the session starts, you'll get to see all of the sector times, fastest lap times, and you'll be able to see exactly all the data and telemetry from those cars. And we've also got the little track below me here, which will tell us where the cars are out on track. And obviously, you and I together will be chatting about the action live as it happens, just to try and enhance your Formula One experience. So if you're bored of Crofty and Charun and all the others in Formula at Sky Sports F1, then you're in the right place. You can listen to our chat. It's way better. And you can get, I'm also, speaking of chat, do get in the chat. You can see there we've got Mark, we've got Gemma, we've got Lygen, some of our regulars. We can ask questions, we can talk about things, you can tell me your opinions. If you watched FP1, tell me anything I need to know. The one thing I have been reading about is it's all about ride height again. And apparently Lewis Hamilton's Ferrari was sparking tremendously in free practice 1. Now, if you remember those sparks coming out of Lando Norris's car and Oscar Piastri's car in Vegas, it only meant one thing, didn't it? It meant a ride height that was too low. So let me know what I missed in FP1. Get in the chat and tell me. How long have we got? Yeah, so we've got about 8 minutes. Fast track this. I do like the way they have put gravel traps on the edge of the circuit. Because, you know, aren't we bored of cars going wide and benefiting from that? So these gravel traps, I think, are a good idea. I think Mexico could benefit from literally putting in massive gravel traps, and Austin. In Mexico, especially at the bottom of, you know, lap 1, turn 1, you know, where it's all the grass runoff area where literally everyone decided to go off piste and just cut the corner. Absolutely need gravel traps. And even if they're these narrow gravel traps that we've got here in Qatar, I think they're a good idea, and I think they do work. Because, you know, the way they steward these outer track limits is a little bit inconsistent, let's say. Especially when, you know, I think Lewis Hamilton would agree with me that he's been the victim of some steward decisions which perhaps could have done with being a little bit more consistent in the pursuit of fairness in this great sport. Yeah, Gemma says it doesn't look very warm, to be fair. I tell you what, it's not very warm in the UK. It's bloody freezing. And by the way, if you're in I'm going to ask you the chat a question. You know, it's Black Friday. Is it Black Friday like all around the world, or is it just the UK and the States? Has everyone been out shopping, buying loads of stuff today? You know, there's a lot of good deals out there. You know, I'm thinking about buying a PlayStation 5. So we can do as a community, we can do some Grand Prix racing. You know, getting a PlayStation 5 little simulator setup, so we can have F1 Grandstand Grand Prix. I'm not sure exactly how it would work, but I think you can. I think you can basically set up a Grand Prix and have like 20 people racing it, and we can all do like a Grand Prix together on F1 25. So do let me know if that's the sort of thing you're into, because I think it'd be quite fun, and we'll stream it, and we'll all have a race. Obviously, I'm not saying I'm gonna be pole on any of these, because some of you people might be sim racers, but I think it'll be fun anyway. F1 Grandstand Grand Prix for us lot to play. If that's your bag, make sure you let me know in the chat. So yeah, we're going to be going into SQ1 very soon. We've got, how long have we got now? Oh, just 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. Lewis is going to obviously need to find some pace. He again was slower than than Charles Leclerc in FP1, which I don't know whether Lewis is just really sort of given up on this season. I mean, it seems a strange thing to say. It doesn't strike me as somebody who would ever give up ever, but this season's weighed heavy on his shoulders, and you know, what's he actually fighting for? I mean, Ferrari, what, P4 in the constructors? I can't see them improving, is the truth. I cannot see Ferrari improving. I think they're going to finish P4. I think Mercedes are going to finish P2, and I think Red Bull P3. I think that is going to be your constructors. It's more exciting between not Williams really, but Racing Bulls, Aston Martin and Haas, and Sauber. Gemma, that is a very interesting point that you put up there. So Gemma says it'll be interesting to see how Lance does with Newey trackside, because if you didn't know, Newey is there in Qatar. He's taken over the role as team principal, Aston Martin, alongside his managing technical partner role, which is as an owner. And he's there. He's in Qatar. So I wonder what the response is going to be from Lance. Lance wasn't very happy in Vegas, was he, in qualifying when they put him on the intermediate tyre in Q2 and it fucked up his qualifying. Yes, Jemmy, you're right. Papa Stroll watching everything. Is Lawrence there? Is Lawrence in Qatar? You think? And you know what? If Newey's there, wouldn't surprise. I bet Lawrence Stroll is there. Yeah. Good point, that, Gemma. I would like to see a bit of Lawrence Stroll footage. Let's see what he's saying. Legend, Lewis looks frustrated in the interview. I think he looks... I think Lewis looks not only frustrated, I think he's having a little crisis of confidence and he's trying to work through it because, you know, when you got Max Verstappen saying he's not going to get any faster now he's 40. I mean, Max just stirring it up. Lewis Hamilton, basically saying Lewis Hamilton can moan all he wants, but he's 40 years old and he's not going to get any faster. Fernando said on Sky F1 when asked about Horner that Newey is going run it himself and doesn't require any further help within the team. Yeah, I mean, Fernando, exactly. I mean, I'm sure that'll be the message. If Lawrence decides to sell a big chunk of it, though, that message will change pretty quickly. Here we are, though. We're about to go live. Gemma says they'll be living it up on Lawrence's dime. Yeah, Newey, Lance, they're all partying in Qatar on Lawrence's credit card. I know, Legend, I know. 7-time world champion. And by the way, I don't agree with Max. I think there's fight in the old dog yet with Lewis. I do. I'm a believer. No yachts in Qatar, Gemma. I don't think Lawrence's yacht is in Qatar. First world problems. That's it. Do you see all that stuff of George Russell's new boat that he got this year? He just loves being on his boat. I'm thinking, it's not a bad life, is it? I promise you this, if F1 Grandstand gets big enough that we can get an F1 Grandstand yacht, everybody is coming. Everyone's invited. We will fill that yacht, let me tell you. Right, let me just refresh. Okay, we're good. So I've got Verstappen out, everyone coming out on the mediums. SQ1 has started. Clock is ticking. Did I tell you about, I think I might have mentioned that a couple of times about Carlos Sainz's suggestions for sprint races and sprint qualifying. I really like them. You can tell me what you think. But what Carlos Sainz suggested was that in sprint qualifying, we should have normal qualifying for SQ1 and SQ2, where we lose 5 drivers in SQ1, lose 5 drivers in SQ2. But for SQ3, for the final 10, he said we should consider having a super pole. And if you don't know what a super pole is, so I'm sure a lot of you do, but if you don't, basically what it means is each of the top 10 drivers get one shot, one lap, and it's a hit it or miss it situation. And if you miss it, that's your qualifying time for the top 10. I like it. I like the idea of an SQ3 Super Pole. I like Carlos Sainz putting in, and he also suggested that we should have just a super soft tyre for the sprint races. So that's the only one tyre choice for everybody. Everyone on the softs, and I do like that idea as well. Yeah, Gemma said, well, he was jealous of Max being on Toto, so he bought one himself. I think he bought a new one, actually. Lance is good on a lap. Lance can put a lap together, especially in the wet. Especially in the wet. But we're out now. So Verstappen fastest in the second and third sector so far. Good luck, Yuki, from Mark. Well, listen, good luck, Yuki. I mean, Yuki, he's literally like the Max's assistant or the crash test dummy. Like, Yuki just has to do as he's told. He has to run the setup that he's told. He has to get the data for Max. Yuki. He should just enjoy his last two Grand Prix, in my opinion. Yuki should just enjoy his last two Grand Prix. Have a good time, my friend. Party like a rock star. Drive as best you can. And, yeah, just enjoy yourself, my friend, because, you know, these memories will last forever. So let's see. Sainz, currently quickest. Verstappen is on a hot lap right now, though. And he has gone fastest with a 1:22.2. No surprise here. Verstappen's going to be fast out of the gates today. Yeah, you know, this is sprint race. The sprint race is as important to Max as the main race. If he can pick up 8 points here for a win in the sprint race, and it keeps it spicy for the rest of us, and it keeps his championship hope alive, and it keeps it exciting for the rest of us, which is what we want. As the neutral fan, you know, we want to see good racing. We want some excitement in that last Grand Prix of the season in Abu Dhabi, and I think Max is the man who can bring it. Everybody out on the medium tyre. No surprise there. So we've got Leclerc running P2. Tsunoda, P3. We were just talking about him. Yuki, he's up there. He's only 0.3 off Max's time. But the evolution of the track will get quicker, as we know. The track will get quicker. Ollie Behrman's putting a good time there. P3. P4, I should say. Isaac Hadjar gone quickest. Now, a lot of you actually did actually have Hadjar down as your potential driver of the weekend. And look at that. Hadjar's up there. He's battling at the front. Norris gone P1 now, though, with a fastest first sector and third sector. Hadjar still holds the quickest second sector. Piastri up there, P2. So the McLarens, as expected, should run well here. Suits. It's a high grip track. That'll suit Piastri. Suits a nice driving style. Nice balanced car like the McLaren. It's going to do, even if they're running at a slightly higher ride height after Vegas, after their double disqualification. I mean, to be honest, I don't know if you saw the interview with Zach Brown, but Zach Brown was basically saying that the ride height, they had no performance advantage with running at the ride height at that low. In fact, because of the porpoising, the car was effectively slower. We'll see today, won't we? We'll see if they are running a ride height that, one, is legal by the end of the Grand Prix. We'll see on Sunday, but we'll also see whether there is a performance improvement. But right now, you can't argue with 1 and 2. I think Piastri... Oh, Alonso's gone P3. How has Alonso... Where's this pace suddenly come from Aston Martin? Just because Newey's turned up? Mark says Yuki is Max's assistant only when Max is lapping him. Yeah, I mean, it's the setups. It's they send Yuki out on some wacky setups so Max can get data. Yeah, and he gets told when he can come into pit. He doesn't get the choice. If they need him to stay out and hold up traffic, then, you know, that's what Yuki has to do. That's his job. Verstappen's gone fastest of all. Purple first and third sector. So my driver of the weekend prediction was Lawson, but he's 6/10 behind Piastri. Sonoda's gone P5. Quicker than Hadjar. It's a good benchmark for Yuki, to be fair. If he's quicker than both of the Racing Bulls, then that's really where he's always needed to be. I mean, that could have saved his Formula One drive if he was quicker than both the Racing Bulls. The problem is he's rarely been quicker than both Racing Bulls. So Norris is on a quick lap. It's going to be close. Piastri's had the fastest first sector as well. So Piastri on a quick lap. I really am rooting for Piastri this weekend. I would like him to beat Lando. I mean, to be honest, for the excitement levels, Norris has gone P1. For the excitement levels, I wouldn't mind the DNF from Norris. You know, for the excitement levels for the final race for Abu Dhabi, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say no to a DNF from Norris in the Grand Prix. Just for the neutral to keep it spicy. Piastri's gone P1 with a good lap. Wow. Bortoletto's up in P4. You know, he's not had a particularly good run of form of late, Bortoletto, so he'll be delighted if he can put that Sauber into SQ3. He'll be over the moon if he can. Yeah, Legend says he wants Piastri to do good too. Yeah, it's good. Oh, Toto impression. Gemma. Get in the car, George. Yeah, it's so bad. Get in the car, George. Kimmy. Kimmy. Get in the car, Kimmy. It's so bad. You can enjoy that. You can take that one to the bank, Gemma. He sounds. I can't do it. I know I've got a terrible Toto impression, but it does remind me. It's a cross between sort of Arnold Schwarzenegger and sort of like a Dutch porn star. It sort of sits in between the two. Yeah, I can't do the accent, but so when I do it, it just sounds like a pirate. So just 2.5 minutes left of SQ1. Kimmy's down P16. He needs to get a move on. I mean, right now Hamilton's down P19 as well. What is going on? Hamilton needs to put a time in, pretty smartish. Or sharpish, I should say. Alonso's gone P1. Wow. Adrian Newey in Qatar. What has he done? Has he just literally walked around the car in the garage and said, oh, I can see what's wrong with this Aston Martin. You missed. Yeah, you just need to. There's a slight bolt out or something. I mean, this is crazy. Okay. Nice over in the chat, my friend. How is this Aston Martin doing it? Alonso's gone fastest of all, P1. The only thing that we know is different is Newey's in the garage. Can you just imagine Newey's in the garage going, oh, guys, how have you missed this? Is this what you've been doing on race weekends? Boom. Alonso, P1. That's crazy. Where's Stroll? Stroll's down to P15. So the Newey effect is not obviously affecting Lance. Yeah, it's not affecting Lance, but it is affecting Alonso because Lance is P15. He's going to struggle to get through to SQ2 at this rate. Hamilton down in P19, Leclerc P12. This is not okay. This is not good for the Ferraris. Hamilton cannot go out in SQ1. Unacceptable. But Alonso. So the track is evolving, it is getting quicker, and it is improving. But Hamilton's on a lap now. This is going to be his last chance. Verstappen's on a pretty decent lap. Oh, he's gone P1. Verstappen's gone P1, Alonso P2. So in the elimination zone right now, Tsunoda's gone P10, Lawson's gone P9. And so in the elimination zone right now, you got Behrman. Hamilton's only managing P15. This might not be good enough. Leclerc's gone P6. Hamilton might be out here. Can Ocon, Behrman, Antonelli could improve here. Gasly or Colapinto, we could see Hamilton out here. Antonelli. Tsunoda's gone. Antonelli, I knew it. Antonelli's pushed Hamilton out into the elimination zone. Oh no, Hamilton's P. Yeah, Hamilton's out. Wow. Again. Can you believe that? Wow. Hamilton out in Q1. Again. Well, SQ1, I should say. I just don't have a graphic for sprint qualifying. Hamilton out in SQ1. That is so bad. Albon as well. That's, you know what? Carlos Sainz has been absolutely taking Alexander Albon to school. So we got, oh no, he's improved. I was kicking him out. No, it's Gasly. Gasly's out. So we've got Gasly out. We've got Colapinto out. Wow, Lawson. Oh, Lawson. This is not... Lance Stroll's... How can that be? How could you get Fernando Alonso qualifying... in P2 and Lance Stroll down in P16? I mean, God. Are they running different setups? I doubt it. Is Lance Stroll nervous because Adrian Newey's on the pit wall? I don't know. It's not good enough though, Lance. I'm sorry, buddy, mate, but that is not good enough. And Haas, Ocon scrapes through. Lawson, not a good. That's not good. I mean, I don't know what happened to Hamilton there, but how many excuses can you have? You can't say. I mean, listen. In this case, Leclerc's only scraped through to SQ2 in P13, but Hamilton. It just shows. Look, it's not all Hamilton. The car is a bag of spanners. I don't care what anybody says. No, Sir J's in the chat. He's delighted. No, Sir J. He's delighted. He's delighted at Hamilton's performance and the Ferrari's lack of pace. It's 100 quid safe. No, Sir J's got a bet with his girlfriend that Hamilton won't get a podium by the end of this year. Yeah, it's looking good for his 100 quid. The Wooden says, Ferrari spent all that money and sacked Sainz. What a bad move that was. Well, to be fair, I think we can agree that Carlos Sainz and Leclerc were definitely closer in getting the performance out of the Ferrari. There was rarely more than a couple of tenths between the two of them, wasn't there? So, yeah. Yeah, and OK says, imagine Verstappen wins it and Lando bottles it. Listen, I'm here for it. I said I think it's good for the sport if Lando DNFs on Sunday for the Grand Prix. I think it's good for the neutral because we want, it'll make it exciting for Abu Dhabi. Yeah, the Wooden says, when your dad owns a team, you'll be getting all the best parts and setups, no excuses. Exactly. There's no way Lance and Fernando don't have the same car. They have the same car. And that's the thing. If Alonso was down in P15, you could go, all right, fair enough. But when Alonso's putting that Aston Martin P2 and Stroll's putting it P16, it isn't, look, however you look at it, it isn't good enough. Unless Adrian Newey's just done some little bit of tinkering with Alonso's car and just done a little bit. I just got this vision of Newey for the first time actually trackside all season in the Aston Martin garage, walking around Alonso's car and goes, hey boys, have you realised that you've had this unplugged or something? And he's just gone and done a simple tweak and now Alonso's car's going fast enough for P2. I don't know. Because famously, Adrian Newey said he's got nothing to do with the 25 car. He hasn't done any development on that car. But just being there maybe it's given Alonso a little bit of a boost. It's obviously not quite done the same. Yeah, obviously not quite done the same for Lance. Yeah, okay, I agree. Yeah, the sparks at the McLaren again. DNF possible. I can't see them having a ride height issue this time. I can't. Mark says, has Lance been hanging out with Yuki? Oh, poor Yuki. The difference is Yuki gets thrown under the bus. Lance, I think, is his own doing. Well, maybe not in Vegas. He was quick in the wet. That was a bad decision from the pit wall. But yeah, so who have we got through, made it through? So Verstappen P1, Alonso P2, Piastri P3. I like to see Piastri quicker than Norris. I'm here for that. Hulkenberg again. Why does Hulkenberg seem to qualify so well in sprint qualifying? P4, Norris P5, Hadjar P6. And again, that's telling. Hadjar P6 and Lawson out P17. That is not good. That is not good for Lawson. He's not helping his strong case for keeping his Racing Bulls drive. Russell P7. Sainz, same thing with Carlos Sainz, who's found this new vein of form in the second half of this season. He's really beating Albon hands down in the second half of the season, where Albon was really beating Sainz hands down in the first part of the season. Something happened, I think it was Baku, when Carlos Sainz got his where he qualified P2 in Baku and got a podium, didn't he? I think that changed everything for Sainz. So then we've got obviously Tsunoda. Hey, Tsunoda, come on, he's up in P9. Okay, we're off again. Tsunoda's out on track. 10 minutes of SQ2. Let's see. There's a chance that Leclerc's Ferrari doesn't make it through to SQ1, Yeah. Okay, so they don't trust Hulk and Piastri together in front row, considering the Circuit of the Americas sprint race. I know. Whose fault was it then? Okay. So they're coming together in Austin. Sprint race. By the way, I will make it quite clear, no one received any penalty from the stewards. But if you had to put the blame on someone, whose fault was it? Who was to blame in that incident where both McLarens DNF'd in the sprint race at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin? Spinoza says Hulk. I have to agree with it. I that's what I think as well. I think if I had to blame somebody, Hulk would get the blame, but I don't act. I still think it's a racing incident, but I think it was Hulk who was. I think it was. I think if I had to blame someone, it was Hulk. Do you remember Zach Brown? He came out blaming Hulkenberg straight away and then said it wasn't his fault. But that, yeah. But do you know in the McLaren garage though, they did blame Piastri. They said it, and because Norris made contact with Piastri, in Singapore, they said to Piastri, well, because we accept that that was Norris's fault, you can get to choose in Q3 what time you go out. You get first choice. And then Piastri had that incident with the where both McLarens DNF'd in the sprint race, and they took that privilege away from him because they said that was Piastri's fault. But for me, it was a racing incident. Like, I think we do need to, like, with when we're giving out penalties, like, I don't think Piastri should have got a penalty with his contact with Antonelli either at the race start when Leclerc got taken out and didn't finish. I think racing incidents, I think we should, because we want to encourage racing, don't we? Right? We don't want to put the drivers off from going for a gap. Just 7 minutes left of SQ2. Yeah, so Mark's talking about Hamilton, saying maybe Hamilton's had enough of the car. Look, the thing is, if you're mentally off your game, even a tiny bit, a bit negative, you know, less positive about what you can do in the car. Well, you think about how close these cars are now. Like 1 or 2 tenths can drop you out, you know, five places. So every little bit of the mental game is so important now. Because yeah, if you're a bit off your game and you're a little bit negative about the car as well, because the car's been awful, it could cost you 2 or 3 tenths in a lap for sure. And the Wooden says, if you lock up and hit someone, it's your fault. But what if you're locking up because somebody's closing the door on you when you're up alongside them? Because the Piastri incident, there was three abreast going down the straight. He had the inside line. Piastri didn't lock up until Antonelli came across to close the door, which he probably shouldn't have tried to close the door. That's what I think. I think it's how the lockup occurs. I think. Because sometimes you're locking up to avoid a crash that somebody else might be Antonelli's fault. Norris gone fastest of all. Leclerc's up there. P4, so we've got Norris, Piastri, Verstappen, Leclerc, Tsunoda. I've got a root for, even though I've got Yuki down as my dipstick of the weekend, potentially. Look, if Yuki has a good weekend, I'll be very happy for him. Hulkenberg's up there. Russell showing a little bit of pace finally. Up into P3. I mean, if either of the Saubers make it through to SQ3, it's a good result for the Saubers. Hadjar, again, putting a solid performance. P5. Sainz P6. Leclerc P7. Tsunoda P8. Hulkenberg P9. Behrman P10. Ocon P11. Albon P12. Bortoleto P13. Alonso P14. Not quite finding the pace he had in SQ1. I would like to see Alonso find his pace again. I would like to see him in SQ3. I wonder if Newey's on the pit wall with the headset on. Yeah, they would. Leclerc's found some pace. I think they probably just lowered the ride height in between SQ1 and 2. They dropped Leclerc's car a couple of mil. Maybe. I don't know. So the ones to watch for me, excuse me, the ones to watch for me are, for the surprising ones, Hadjar, Hulkenberg, Alonso, and Sainz. I'm interested to see how those boys do. Even Behrman, he can always put in a surprise lap, can't he? So I'm really looking at the best of the rest. Always interests me to see improvement in the midfield. And if you believe Fernando Alonso, it's because they're playing around with ride heights. But now the FIA have been measuring the whole top 10, the ride heights and skid blocks, because of the whole ride height debacle over the last few Grand Prix. And also, you know, since there was an accusation that people were running illegal ride heights and getting away with it. Oh, excuse me. So Norris currently comfortably P1 by half a tenth. So Norris and Piastri are really, really keeping pace with each other today. So in the elimination zone right now, you've got Behrman, Ocon, Albon, Bortoleto and Alonso. But the track is evolving. The track is getting quicker. So whoever can time their final run will have the best opportunity, providing there's no interference from the slower cars on track, to actually get through. So why is Alonso... I don't think Alonso's put a lap in yet. Or is there a problem with Alonso's car? Or is he just setting himself up for his last run? I mean, Alonso's still out on track. I think he's just trying to set himself up with some clean air for a good lap. So Max is on a pretty decent lap here. I don't think it'd be good enough to go fastest, but he may improve. So Leclerc currently P8. So Verstappen does improve to P3. I mean, everyone is improving. You got Yuki Tsunoda in P9 at the moment, which I'm giving him a special mention quite a lot during the stream because I do a lot. I do quite a lot of Yuki bashing. So yeah, I'll be quite pleased for him to get through to SQ3. So everyone's coming up to the last flyers, I think now. So you got Norris P1. Piastri P2, Verstappen P3, Leclerc's putting a time. Tsunoda's gone P4. Wow. Just a tenth slower than Verstappen. Wow. Well done, Yuki Tsunoda. Alonso's gone P7. Just 10 seconds left of regulation time. Can Carlos Sainz improve? Kimi Antonelli's in a dangerous spot right now. Hulkenberg's finished. Albon's gone P7. Sainz P5. This is good for the best of the rest. Antonelli down in P11. Hadjar's gone P10. I mean, Antonelli's going to need to put a time in on his final lap here. Antonelli's gone P... Oh, no. Let's see. Russell's gone P4. Has Antonelli put a time in? Antonelli's gone 10th fastest. So we've got Hadjar, Behrman, Bortoleto, Hulkenberg and Ocon all out. Kimi Antonelli gets through by the skin of his teeth. So Isaac Hadjar's lost a time. He exceeded track limits and he's lost his quick time. Oh, so Hadjar out. Out in Q2. So we've got Hadjar out. Behrman. Behrman out. And Ocon. Behrman and Ocon both out in SQ2. And the final one out is we've got Bortoleto and Hulkenberg. So Norris, Piastri, Verstappen, George Russell, Tsunoda, 5th quickest, just a 10th off his teammate. That's it. That's decent from Yuki. I mean, you have to wonder, don't you? Why Yuki's been so terrible. And then, you know, have they allowed him to have a reasonable setup on his car for sprint qualifying? Because then he puts in a time that's pretty reasonable. Leclerc found some pace. Yeah, well, he's P7. Alonso, I'm pleased for Alonso, though. He's made it through, P9. Okay, says, even if he gets double wins, Yuki's going to get replaced by Hadjar anyways. Yeah, he is. Look, it's too little too late, for sure. It's too little too late. But like I said, I don't know how much has gone on behind the scenes, which has really hamstrung Yuki's performance. I think it's probably 70% him, 30% the team. At this point in the season, yeah, at this point in the season, maybe Yuki's just been, maybe he said, no, I'm not, leave my car alone. I don't know. No, Sir Jay says, I want to see Charles in highest possible place. Yeah, you just want to rub it in. You just want to get into Hamilton's head. Oh, okay. So Yuki isn't the problem. Could be true. I mean, the conspiracy around that number 2 seat at Red Bull. But I don't think it is a conspiracy. I think it's true. I think if this is what I was talking about in one of my streams this week was like, Max Verstappen might be Max Verstappen I think is the best driver on the grid, but the worst teammate to have. Like nobody who wants to be Max Verstappen's teammate, because you are literally. I saw someone saying that Yuki's become Max's assistant, and I thought it was funny. But you don't want to be Max Verstappen's teammate, do you? Who wants that? It's like the worst job in Formula One. And it's a shame because I think Hadjar's going to get that job in 26. But what does that do for him? I mean, it didn't work for Lawson, did it? It didn't work for Gasly. It didn't work for Albon. Yeah. It's not a good place to be. Didn't work for Perez in the end. Well, that could be true, Mark. Maybe they've given Yuki the same car as Max to help him win. Maybe they think, well, if Yuki's capable of getting near the front, he can be more effective in helping Max. Could be. I don't know. I mean, I find it strange when you see that, like in Monza, you go, well, Max has got the upgraded floor, but Yuki hasn't. I mean, why? Why just give, when you're making upgrades, what, you're telling me you can only make one upgrade? You can't make two? You've not got the resources to give both drivers the upgrades. Why would you not give it to both cars at the same time? Oh, sorry, we can only get one made. Really? Is that, just make two of everything? You know. Yeah, and they blame Yuki for it. It's true. Okay. Yuki, I think, like I said, I think Yuki gets a shitty end of the stick right now. That's true. The one he hasn't done anything to help Max yet. Until we see in the Grand Prix an accident between him and Lando Norris, and he takes Lando's front wing off. Oh, now we're getting conspiracy theory. Yeah, I mean, if that did happen by accident, Yuki ended up taking Lando's front wing off in the Grand Prix, in the Qatar Grand Prix on Sunday. I mean, wow. You know, what do you do? So we've got SQ3 to come, the business end, as I like to call it. Your top 10 shootout for sprint qualifying for tomorrow's sprint race. And I hope you will all be joining me, by the way, for the live watch along for the sprint race, which will be at, let me just remind myself of that time. It's going to be race starts at 2 o'clock GMT. So we'll be live 1:45, 15 minutes before, where we can all catch up. And then obviously we've got Grand Prix qualifying at 6 o'clock GMT. So make sure you're joining me for both of those watch-alongs. You are all very, very welcome. So top 10 shootout, SQ3, Russell, Antonelli, Norris, Piastri, Tsunoda, Sainz, Leclerc, Albon and Alonso all through. Business end, guys. Let's see. The Wooden says, circuits like this is very easy for the drivers that like high downforce. Yeah, that's why it's good for Piastri, right? With the cost cap, the number one is priority. True that. I mean, Max still got that pretty recent engine as well, hasn't he? The Wooden says, front wing, he needs to go bowling like Bottas at Hungary 2020. Yeah. And that's why we love Bottas. Yeah, Mark saying, Tony, what you're saying, Yuki would never do that. Yeah, but if he did, I'm here for it. I'm here for it, Mark. It makes the Grand Prix exciting for us. Makes the final Grand Prix of the season in Abu Dhabi super exciting for us. Oh, could you imagine if he did, though? Yeah, why is Bottas mentioned so much on the radios? It's probably because he's got the best Instagram account in the world and he's hilarious. That's why I'd mention him on the radio. Bottas. Yeah, I can't wait for Bottas to be back on the grid in that Cadillac. I'm here for it. We'll see if Bottas goes bowling. A little bit of temping bowling. And you know what? The Americans love a bit of temping bowling. So do I, actually. I love a bit of temping bowling. It's great. So just 6 minutes. Evolution of the track. It should get quicker and quicker, even through the next 6 minutes. Let's see. Let's see if Verstappen can get that Red Bull P1. And I want Piastri to out-qualify Norris as well. That's my own personal craving for SQ3. I'd like Piastri to be quicker than Norris. I think it's good for the championship if he is. And Piastri is quickest of all at the moment. So we're only going to get a few hot laps here. Everyone's on the soft. So we should see improvement in times. So Antonelli's gone fastest. Russell's gone fastest. So Russell's nearly 4 tenths quicker than Antonelli at this early stage of SQ3. If you have just joined us, welcome. This is our little watch long for sprint qualifying. I hope you're enjoying it. We've got all the live data on the screen. You can see all the sector times. Hopefully you've got a screen big enough that you can see that data. But you are all very welcome. Get in the chat. Say hello to the gang. They're a friendly bunch. We're fully interactive. And don't forget, we've got watch-alongs for sprint race and qualifying tomorrow. So do join us for those. Right now, just 4 minutes, just over 4 minutes left. So Piastri has gone fastest of all. Russell P2, Leclerc P3. Now we do know Leclerc, he is capable of a quick qualifying lap, isn't he? Even in a bad Ferrari. Oh, these McLarens, both drivers exceptionally close. So Piastri P1, Russell. Oh, Norris has gone P2. Great. Verstappen still yet to put a time in. I mean, the thing is, most of these drivers, their final lap of SQ3, their final hot lap will be their quickest one. Track is getting faster and faster. Oh, Miss Verstappen. Went wide, bounced over the gravel. That's not going to be good news for him. That Max going off there over the gravel trap is going to have caused all sorts of bother to the underneath of his car could have affected his aero. That may prevent Max from getting a P1 time here. Yeah, Legend. Yeah, Max has just gone wide over the gravel trap. He must have caused some damage to the bottom of his car there. So I don't know. We're probably going to get maybe one, maybe two more hot laps from each driver. Antonelli's coming out now. He should have a fairly clear track to put a good time in, actually. I mean, really, Leclerc, you just have to appreciate the good job he has done for Ferrari this year. It's he's been in a car that just really is not very good. You know, you can the team, what, a P4 team at the moment, it's a midfield team. But what Leclerc has managed to do with, what, 7 podiums? But it's impressive in that car. And now he's looking like he's just, you know, I mean, keeping the opportunity alive to score some good points. Leclerc needs more credit. He's definitely a top 3 driver, I think, on the grid. And the rumours of Aston Martin already offering him a contract for 27. I can believe it. I would, if I was Adrian Newey, I'd be quite happy to secure Leclerc for 27. I don't think Alonso's still going to be there. I'd be surprised if Lance Stroll leaves to move on somewhere else with Papa Stroll in the chairman's seat. But, you know, it's Formula One. Lance might decide he's had enough. The Wooden says we need a Senna Prost style start from Norris and Piastri. Total wipeout. I mean, crazy shit can happen, can't it? Lap 1, turn 1. I would rather it was sort of like a Leclerc Norris wipeout and Max and Piastri raced it out. So we could have a 3-way decider in Abu Dhabi. That would be more exciting for me. Yeah, Legend, 100%. Leclerc is championship material, 100%. Give Leclerc a great car. He can definitely win you a championship. And he's given Ferrari enough time, what, 7 years to build him a car that's competitive. Yeah, and I think Adrian Newey's going to really build a good car for Aston Martin with the Honda engine. So if I was Leclerc, I would definitely be considering that move for 27, because I just don't see a roadmap for Ferrari to get to where they need to be. I just can't see a roadmap for them. I don't think anyone senior has laid it out. So Piastri currently P1. These now, right, so end of regulation time for SQ3. These are the times that matter. Will there be any change in order? I suspect there will be. Piastri holding on to provisional pole for the sprint race. George Russell. Tsunoda's gone P3. Love to see that. Alonso's gone P3. Fernando Alonso rinsing every little bit of performance out of the Aston Martin to go P3. Fantastic lap from Fernando Alonso. The Adrian Newey effect in full force. He hasn't even turned a spanner on the SF20 on the Aston Martin 25 car. He definitely hasn't turned a spanner on the front. Russell's gone P1. George Russell's put that Mercedes P1. Piastri is still on a lap. And Piastri goes P1. He takes pole position from Russell. That means that is great news for Piastri. Piastri P1, Russell P2. He has Russell between him and Norris. Alonso P4. What a result for Fernando Alonso. Yuki Tsunoda P5, out qualifying Max Verstappen for the first time this season. Yuki Tsunoda, where has this pace come from? Absolutely remarkable scenes from Yuki. Congratulations, Yuki. Antonelli P7, Carlos Sainz P8, Leclerc P9, and Albon P10. Wow. Wow, what a result. Legend says, I'm telling you, man, Yuki is on a mission to hunt McLaren. We always say it, if you want a championship, Max, Leclerc, Russell, Alonso. And okay, if Max gets his 5th title, it'll be such a joke on McLaren. Yeah, it will be. I mean, for that to happen, McLaren would have just thrown it away. Just like 2007. And even Zach Brown said he's prepared for it. Are you really prepared for it? Are you really prepared to be throwing away the World Drivers' Championship? The World Drivers' Championship is what it's all about. I do appreciate the Constructors' title. Congratulations and all of that. But the fans know that it's all about the Drivers' Championship. And to see Piastri up there in P1 qualifying pole, that is fantastic. Piastri back with some fight, giving him some confidence that he can go on and win this sprint race. And as you know, the advantage of starting in P1 and such a short race is huge. It's all down to Piastri. I think this is great news for Piastri. We've got Norris in P3 next to Alonso. You know, Norris is just at that point, P3 in the sprint race, where if there's going to be a coming together on turn 1, P3, you're right in the mix of it, right? Anything can happen. Max Verstappen down in P6. And when you've got Yuki Tsunoda P5 going into turn 1, watch out, Norris. I mean, anything can happen, in my opinion. It's going to be exciting. Please tell me you're going to join me for the sprint watch-along tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, we'll start at 1:45. You got to join me. I think it's going to be an exciting start to that race. Make sure we'll start 15 minutes before. We'll get warmed up. We'll get excited, and we'll all be ready for lap 1, turn 1. What could happen? Yeah, Piastri. I'm delighted for him. Absolutely delighted for him. And Russell mixing it up there, P2 in the Mercedes, and Alonso P4. Yeah, it's been a very exciting sprint qualifying. I'm really enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. So for now, I'm going to say cheerio. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you all tomorrow at 1:45 GMT for the sprint race. This Grand Prix weekend shaping up to be quite exciting. Let's go. I will see you all tomorrow. Ta-ta.